Welcome to the Fuzionverse, where anything can happen, bubbles burst, and translate to Pig Latin, so sit down and relax as we speak in facts.
Hello. Welcome everyone to the Fuzionverse Podcast, Episode 1, Life After School. Welcome to my brand new podcast, Episode 1, very first debut. I'm really excited, and today's episode is going to be more of a solo-oriented episode, which I will be talking about the origins of my YouTube channel, career, music, and my personal life as they all coexist in a weird manner. Okay, so this channel, believe it or not, was founded in 2009 by my sister and I, mind you. And during this time, we were making like slideshow compilation videos of like still frames, and it was like tribute videos where it would have like a slideshow of pictures of people that you like. And in this case, we are still huge Mario fans, and we kind of gravitated towards that kind of content for a while. And first we did it without posting on YouTube, and then we just started posting on YouTube. And and my sister also had this like camera that we got, and I started like recording videos on that. The quality was bad for the first time, but we made the best of that. And I had toys, and I just started making toy videos with that. Granted, the quality is more of homegrown and do it yourself, DIY, compared to like the toy channels today that are a bit more of a higher frame rate and fidelity. Yeah, it was much more different for us back then. And that's what it pretty much was for the beginning of our YouTube channel. She later kind of branched out to her own channel. I just stayed with this one. Um and then after that, after I was posting more and more, I kind of saved up and bought a webcam, and I think we had like a desktop back then that we kind of shared. And when I had the webcam, I would just make like discussion type videos, talk about my love for music. At the time, I was just talking about like let's say video games. And then school came, and this kind of is part of the personal life that I was talking about earlier. We were transitioning from elementary school to middle school, and it was like a shift. What a shift it was, because when we were in elementary, our mindset was kind of more in a naive and more accepting way, because it's kind of filled more with wonders. And once you get more into middle school, there's a bit more sophistication that goes on. Unfortunately, I was kind of affected by that when it came to making videos. Well, I also because it's kind of a mixed bag with middle school. It was both good and bad, because I kind of found my love for music, and I wouldn't be here where I am today with music if it wasn't for middle school when I started in band. I was playing tuba, and I kind of felt like I had my own group in band, and I'm kind of happy that I still talk to my group of friends. I got one that kind of pursued music professionally, and he's in a band now, and I'll talk about this later. Yeah, I was happy to have my little group there. We would talk like about similar interests, so I didn't feel as left out. But when it came to like the majority, oh man, I felt like outcasted. Particularly, there was this guy that I considered a bully at the time. But it was really me just taking everything too personal. When it came to my YouTube channel, I just started airing out like all the grievances that were going on in my personal life that I've had experience with him. I was just like doing like video beefs, just like Soulja Boy was doing with Bow Wow and Ice-T. So which is kind of funny, because YouTube now is kind of like publicized with all these like internet dramas like at real time. But back then, I was just kind of doing this, and I received the backlash. Like usually you would have somebody like parrying on one side, but no, I got all the backlash, and rightfully so, because all that behavior kind of caught up to me. And sometimes it got too far. I took it too far. I'll admit that. I was in the wrong in this entire situation, because it got to the point where I started bringing my vlogging cam to school. and try to get like some kind of confrontation and kind of like talk about things, out. Yeah, that was pretty much like the awkward stage in middle school. Thankfully, it never got to the point where I actually wanted to, confront and record. I had a phone which was kind of like a BlackBerry phone during that time, and I was trying to record videos, and yeah, that escalated bad. Because when I was younger, I always was fascinated with kind of being like internet famous because you would see like Fred, Ray William Johnson, and all the people of that stature that would be popping in YouTube, and there was like a community with it, and I kind of wanted that. I wasn't really afraid to be publicly online like that, have an online presence, but I kind of thought everybody wanted that, and that's kind of like the mentality I had in school. And once I got there, I was like, "Oh no." And once I kind of started getting there, but once I tried to get some sort of reaction, it kind of backfired on me, and I had to delete the videos on the spot because they really didn't want to be online. Because yeah, like I learned that the hard way. I regret kind of like taking it that far because it could have all been handled privately as all these matters should be. After that, I was just like, okay, I gotta stop with this. And my YouTube channel, at the time, like I was saying, middle school was a mixed bag, and I'm going to the good news on this. With music, I started playing bass guitar as well in jazz band, and that kind of was a gateway for me to become more of a multi-instrumentalist, learn guitar as well. I was actually able to buy my first guitar, and I just started making like cover videos online, and that kind of was kind of an outlet for me for a while when it came to middle school. And after that, like it kind of mellowed out, and we kind of got a bit more along, especially with the guy that I was having altercations with. Yeah, that was the beginning of that, and I remember I was like recording and playing Happy Wheels. If any of you guys remember, and yeah, it was just like a blast, just like recording that. Granted, like the frame rates were like really low, as a lot of my notorious gaming videos are. But it was still a fun time, and I was just like my voiceover on that was it was something. And yeah, I was just posting like a lot of cover videos of my bass guitar, my electric guitar. There was like a lot of music makers, music sequencers on Flash games. I remember there was like this punk rock one. I had so much fun with that one. Like it kind of taught me about power chords and all that good stuff when it comes to like punk, especially with MGK. He's doing all this pop punk stuff. A lot of it kind of correlates to what is going on today. Though, and yeah, this was kind of the turning point. Like I kind of like mellowed out and I was just having like the time of my life. This is also going to be important when I go more further in my, life story when it comes to this. My dad unfortunately got sick around this time. I remember like getting like the hospital call. It was really heartbreaking and frightening, and I kind of got depressed at this time. I just stopped making the videos, and I was just like visiting the hospital like daily, like right after school. So that pretty much went down until he kind of got better, and we kind of got back into the flow of things. We were actually able to save up to go to the Universal trip. Now this kind of seemed it kind of seems like something casual, but for us kind of being more restricted financially, well, during that time, it was like something like really huge for me. And yeah, it was really fun. I took pictures. I even have pictures like on Facebook and stuff like that. I didn't record a video. I kind of felt it was just like something that should just like not be too present online, but kind of have some memories to it. So I kind of treated it as that. And yeah, that was like ending on a high note with middle school. It kind of had like a awkward introduction. It kind of had like a weird build up and then the climax and a resolution, as all these stories and essays would go. And now we're going to be transitioning from middle school to high school. Okay, so when it came to YouTube, I started with lifestyle videos at this time, like with fashion. I later got into vlogging, but at that time it was just like I took like a bit more of a break on YouTube. And this is when I started focusing more on jazz band, concert band, and all the above, marching band specifically as well. And yeah, this was another like kind of high point in our life, and a kind of a distraction because high school had a bit of drama as well. It did affect me, and it kind of opened up where I was like naive, but I wouldn't say it's as bad as what middle school was. Yeah, that kind of also affected the way I made vlogs, videos as well. I was still making like lifestyle videos, cover videos, and it went on for some time, but then once I got into like Instagram, Snapchat, I just like didn't use YouTube anymore that much. I just started gravitating to making like shorter, quicker content like that, kind of like what TikTok is now. So yeah, that was pretty much what I was doing. And yeah, and band, it was really fun because marching band was tough, but marching band was pretty rewarding when it came to traveling, reciting. Kind of helps a lot with recording process when it comes to making music, mixing, songwriting, producing. Yeah, you can name it. It definitely has I wouldn't be as interested in music production if it wasn't, for like band. And I think that goes to my friend that I was mentioning too, that it was kind of like a gateway for us. Okay, so yeah, I was just making vlogs and short videos in the meantime when it came to YouTube. And this time I was just like posting from my phone and uploading on YouTube. And yeah, this would also be important as I continue. So yeah, it was just like band and YouTube, making vlogs. It was pretty much the cycle I was going to. Oh yeah, and when it comes to band, another thing that I liked about the traveling was the band bus we would go would always be fun. There would be freestyles, the conversations would be rowdy, and there was always like rivalry discussion with other bands, and it was just like that kind of energy, like that kind of chaotic energy. It was like really fun. I wouldn't miss it for anything. Okay, so in the midst of all this madness, you may know him as Savage Mac. He started his own YouTube channel like right around when I was like in junior year, I believe, like in the beginning of junior year. And he was a senior. He was getting ready for graduation, all the tests and all that good stuff. Getting ready for college during that time. So yeah, I think that's what was going on during the time. So he made a YouTube channel. We were always like watching meme videos. He was watching like hella YTPs, and then he that's what he based his content on, making YTPs originally. Oh my god. So his first video ever, like our good friend Critics, he shows me his channel and then I just go to subscribe and I watch the first video. And I just make like a comment on how loud the video was. I wasn't even thinking of anything, and next thing I know, he goes to my channel and he downloads all the videos he could find of me. Keep in mind, when I was in middle school, I did not have a filter. So everything I said was cringe or not, it was up to the viewer to decide. He started making YTPs on me. The next day I went to school. Our good friend Critics, he was laughing. And then he looks at me, he's like, "Oh, I'm like really sorry, but you're gonna get mad at this." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then he shows me the video, and it's just of a YTP version of a song I made. It was a love song as well. I made it's like and it was just like a love song, kind of like the cheesy Ed Sheeran love folk songs that he makes. But mine was like way worse than anything he could make. He just had fun with that, and at first I'll admit it, I was like really mad. Like I commented on his video like, "Take it down." I was like, "Delete it." And he would just comment over, "Oh, he's so mad." And I went to the 5 stages of grief. And at the end I was just like, you know what? I could be bitter about this, or I could just brush it off and just accept it, embrace it, and that's what I ended up doing. And I was like, "Hey man, just keep it up. I approve this message." And he was like, "Oh, you should make an intro song for my channel." And I was like, "Okay." So I didn't know how to record it, but like I guess he saw my videos and he saw that I was able to record like these acoustic songs. And I guess he maybe figured I knew how to do it. I was just looking around like these like music productions, or like how to make these like recordings and stuff. That's where I found Soundtrap, and Soundtrap was really a game changer for me, as it was like a gateway into like music production. And yeah, I just looked up like a trap remix of Vanessa Carlton, Thousand Miles, and I just like rapped over that. So back then, I had a karaoke mic. What I didn't know was that the microphone that I was actually using was the one on the laptop. So I thought I was just recording on my microphone on my karaoke mic. And once I listened to a recording, I was like, "What is this?" Like it sounded so bad. You could hear like all the background noise, like the noise laptop was making. It was like really hilarious. I was like, okay, I made this song and it was like really bad. That's like the first rap song I've ever made. I'm like really embarrassed by it, but like I was trying to do like this like word spoken poetry mixed with like some like modern like rap flows, but it just ended up really poorly executed. But we just still went with it because we were just like starting to like get more into like this kind of multimedia phase. And yeah, like after that, I just started like using Soundtrap. I was like, I kind of like this. And Soundtrap is actually really good if you are gonna start with music production. The only problems I have with it is that it's only based online. There's like no offline option, kind of like FL Studio, Ableton. Right after Savage Mac graduated, it was summer break for me. And during this time I was just like focusing on vlogs, music, and I was just like pumping out content like that. When I was making music, I kind of got into like recording my voice and like singing, rapping of that nature. And this is where I met with Overlord Fate, and I'm still in touch with him and we kind of occasionally work on things. But I think it's almost like 7 years when I just like started talking to him. We would just be sending over verses, the beats as well, and I can't believe it's actually been that long. So yeah, that was like kind of a partnership that started. Also affiliation with music. We kind of want to branch out, diversify when it comes to business. So yeah, I just started focusing more like rapping. I wanted to take it a bit more serious. And then I was also making like the meme music, like the comedy music, but I kind of wanted a twist where I could actually rap and actually have like some decent songwriting, and some songs did have like decent songwriting, and I kind of just like stuck with that. And during summer break, I didn't really have a summer break because right like after like a month or two we have to go back into like conditioning for band. It was literally band camp. That's how I pretty much continued the cycle. Band, vlogs, music. That was pretty much what I was doing. And like I said, in between, I just made like the comedy songs, more serious songs. I made some R&B songs as well. And some people actually liked it, and some of the teachers actually knew that I was making it. So yeah, that was pretty interesting for a while. And I actually did have some sort of kind of buzz when it came to that, but it kind of died down because they said I stopped making music, stopped being consistent. And yeah, you got to be consistent when it comes to music. Like, and where I am right now, I'm just like really happy what I'm doing now with music. It's kind of a mix, like a lot of my styles, which is crazy. Which I'll get into after the whole kind of discussion of this video. Okay, so right around like the end of senior year, and like almost to graduation, we were just doing a test. I was just in the quantity versus quality mindset, and I was just like making like a lot of tracks when it came to the comedy stuff, and it just became oversaturated over the time. And the joke has already run its course. I wasn't really having fun with it anymore, and my friends, they were kind of getting sick of it too. And speaking of which, during the time, my friends and I, they got interested in the recording process, and since we were always traveling on the bus, we actually recorded some songs on my phone. They actually recorded some verses, and they were listening to like the instrumental, and they were just like recording over that while we were on the bus. And you could probably hear all the noise on the audio recordings when it comes to like the songs we made. And yeah, it's just like a weird concept that we were just like over here recording. Even with the vlogs, it was just like we did get some good footage, like or decent footage of kind of what was going on, kind of like see, what the life was around in band. Like when we had to get up early and kind of go to like a different town to perform. And yeah, that was pretty much what it was. It's all history. You could all watch it in this channel. It's all down there. So right as graduation was coming, I just just started focusing more on beats, trying to learn how to make more beats. I was still in Soundtrap. I didn't use FL Studio until later. That's what I use currently. But it just slowed down. I did release like more serious songs when it came to graduation. And I remember I kind of had like this kind of like celebratory um parody of Mask Off by Future. Right when we were like at a cheesecake dinner, and my friends actually listened to it, and oh, I actually like this song. Like it was kind of getting back in that kind of like lighthearted mood. And yeah, I kind of missed that kind of feeling, like just having fun and listening to music and it actually being decent when you listen to it. Okay, as graduation was going, we were like, what are we gonna do after school? We would just have like these discussions on what our plans were. We all originally wanted to go to Full Sail, but like the price tag on the tuition was like a red flag. I'll just say super fat because last time I said somebody's government name, I got in trouble, so I try to stick with alias and stage names. As I was saying with Superfet, he went to a community college in Orlando, and it was actually inexpensive compared to like what Full Sail was, and he kind of got his start there. He's actually the lead singer of and bassist of his band, so man, that is just major respect. Kind of like I actually grew up with this guy in middle school and just seeing where he's gotten. And I remember critics, he also wanted to be a director. That was one of his other choices that he had in mind, but or like a video editor. But the thing is, when you start looking deeper into how all that works, is a really complicated. Just to say it in the simplest way possible, he's just had career shifts. And Savage Mac, he just makes videos as of currently, and streams once in a while. So yeah, that's pretty much like what happened like after graduation for all of us. And me, I'm just gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this story. Months after graduation, I took my grace year. I just wanted to see what I wanted to do. Because I was kind of turned off by the cost of like music school. And yeah, that just went on for months and I was kind of depressed because I just had to find like an alternative that can make you like a good living. Cause that's something that also my parents brought up, that I had to not give up on your dreams, but also do something you can make a living with. That's kind of like the mantra that they carry. In the meantime, I was just like vlogging, and sometimes I would make songs, but not as constant. And I would just like make vlogs, kind of like the lifestyle. Because at the time, I was into like a lot of the sneakerheads and what they were making for their vlogs, and I kind of wanted to aspire as that, kind of be a vlogger, a YouTuber, because that's something that seemed fun to me. But as months went on and I was saying Hurricane Irma came, it took us by surprise. Like we were like already focused with like other financial responsibilities. We had to like find shelter last minute. And once we did, and we had to get out of town, mind you, it was like really crazy. And we were there like some few days or a week, if I could remember. And after that, we just drove back home, and oh my god, just watching like like everything that was left behind, like the damage, it was crazy because we had not experienced something of that caliber. Like just seeing like all these like trees that are broken, like the floods, and the power lines were also in the water as well. So that was like really concerning, and it took us a while to get home because like the road we go, there's only one road and that road could get flooded pretty easily. And for like some weeks, almost like a month I believe, we had no power. So we had to charge like our phones on our cars, go to the gas station as well. Like man, you can't believe it. It was like really crazy. But this was also a wake up call that all this vlogging and entertainment stuff that I had to put aside, and that I should start looking into college and find a part-time job as well. Like after that disaster of year for us, I was still with Overlord kind of like making music, but I was kind of like on hiatus. I didn't know what to do. I was kind of confused. And this is where my first job, which I haven't really been open about this, but my first job was actually at UPS like for like 2 weeks. I guess kind of like Tyler the Creator, because Tyler the Creator started at UPS for 2 weeks as well. And it kind of like the same story he saw, but the thing is, like, they didn't even like have like a tour for me, like around the whole facility. Like they just placed me where the cargo drops. It was like that scene in Drake and Josh with the sushi, but it was like packages, and sometimes there were like these like steel bars. Like I'm not even playing with you. And at points it was like generators that I had to carry and kind of like move as well. Like all in a fast pace. Like, oh my god, like that was crazy. Like I have so much respect for people that are able to, manage all that. I actually was in UPS because they had like tuition reimbursement, but I kind of felt like the catch was kind of like having to deal with all that. And I actually was able to go to college. So after I left UPS, I just decided to go to college and kind of just like focus on that. And in between, I would just like apply to jobs. Hopefully I would get something. I was looking at like the dog sitting apps that I could do in the meantime, but I didn't really have any luck for that because at the time it wasn't really busy. And I was just focusing on college during this time, and it was kind of a rough start as well because like I had issues with the textbooks. And I was taking this like during the summer and springtime, and oh god, like like it was just like crunch time, like so much things compiled that you had to like know at once. Like, oh my god, I'm not gonna miss it. It did teach me a lot what I know today, but like a lot of these things you learn once you get into like a job or skills that you learn along the way. And I was also having issues with finance because I was not able to get the money to cover for tuition. And I just like kind of was like, okay, I'll just give it the benefit of the doubt. And I just kind of left it like that for a bit. And once like the due date came and I was just like looking at who I could find counselors and stuff like that. I just went like all over the schools, and the campus, there's like a campus like that's really close here, but there's also like a campus just like an hour away from here. And I went to all those campus, and then I went to one and they told me, "Oh, we won't be able to help you." And I still haven't found a job, and I was like, "What am I gonna do?" So I just finished off the classes. I did decent. I passed it. And then after that, I was just looking for a job to pay off like the remaining balance just for one semester. After months of applying, I actually found like this other job at this restaurant. I don't know if I should name them. So yeah, I was just there like for a year, but at the beginning, I just need to pay this off. Like man, it was like a weird experience to say the least. Hopefully some of my colleagues or like coworkers kind of hear this cuz they might have had similar experiences, especially with like the I can't say it because I don't want to get demonetized, but y'all know what I'm about to say. After a few months, I was able to pay off what I owed to college. So, that was fun. During that time in college, I was also making like beats again. That's when I started picking up making beats. I would release beats once in a while. So I had really fun making beats. Like during that time period, that grace period, I was just like making beats on the go. So I was just focused on this restaurant job, but I didn't really see myself going anywhere there because it kind of felt like literally a dead end job. I kind of saw like the deception, and when it comes to retail and like fast food, there's always like this deception that you feel. I was actually gonna go to college again in Broward, and I just had it as a excuse as well, kind of to get out of that job. So I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to work here anymore. I'm just gonna go to college." And oh my god, the manager was like so pissed off at me. During that restaurant job, I was also doing Shift and Uber Eats, just for extra money because like what they gave you there, doesn't really like cover like for living expenses. And I was actually having a better time doing Uber, and I was just like, you know what, I could probably just like do Uber and not really do this restaurant job anymore. Me thinking about going back to college and also doing Uber Eats and Shift, I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave this job. And yeah, that was like the rest of that history with that job. I was going to college, but I was kind of turned off by like the way I don't know, it just didn't have like a good aura for me. So like right after I, was speaking to like the advisors and stuff, I was just like, I don't think this is for me. And I was actually gonna study music production, like what I wanted to do originally, but I figured, I could learn that all on my own and I could just like pursue something else in higher education that could actually, leave something in your resume. Oh man, this is where it got crazy. So like after a while, like I mentioned earlier, my dad got sick again from the same problem because like the situation he was intense and the recovery wasn't steady for all like this years that it was building up. The way this all kind of connects to each other is like really wild. So during all this like medical situation, I was just like doing Uber Eats and ship, and it just went on for a bit. And later I was able to get like a better car to start doing like ride share with Uber and Lyft. And yeah, that was what I was doing, and my dad was still in recovery during this time. At times, I would still make songs, especially with Overlord. And yeah, we were just down to business in that kind of situation, and I would still be making beats as well. And sometimes I would collab with Savage Mac, Super Fat. I remember as well. We would collab and play like Fortnite. I actually have the Fortnite videos up, and the frame rate is like really low, but like the whole kind of comments is pretty funny. Like the commentary is just too gold on that. So I just started going back into that interest. And now we get into where the crown is not allowed. So yeah, this all hit us in different ways, but it definitely impacted kind of like the way we normally live. And at first it was normal. Like I remember like when the year started, it was normal. I was actually old enough to do ride share and I just started like right when the year began. So yeah, it got like really bad. Like everybody was getting sick. I had to take like a few months off of Uber. And then after a few months when it kind of got a bit more cool down, I started doing it again. The thing I forgot to say earlier was like when Irma came, that kind of like made me not want to do vlogs because like I was just like too focused on like other stuff and I couldn't just do vlogs anymore. So when I was doing Uber and Lyft, I actually liked it and I only had like one negative like interaction with somebody, and I've been verbal about this story, but the guy I coined him the name Dollar Store DJ Khaled because oh my god, he's like a spawn of him. It's like uncanny. So I just did Uber like a year, and then I was just looking for like a regular job just to like have like some steady income because Uber is more of a gig based like job. And I kind of started this warehouse job. I wasn't really uploading videos at this time as well. After a few months in the warehouse, it kind of transitioned me to the office job that I have now, which is actually doing pretty well, and it's actually been working out for me, which is really crazy because I didn't expect. Now we're gonna get into where we are today because that's where all this story wraps up. So along the way, I started getting back into making videos because it was something I miss doing. I kind of feel music and audio editing kind of goes hand in hand with like a lot of video as well. Other than that, I've also currently just like been pumping out music. Now I want to make like quality music. You might notice I have a song for Inscription that I kind of worked again with my good friend DJ Live. He actually inspired me to do beats. He made like this beat like 5 or 6 years ago that I just started singing over, and the rest is history. So my niche kind of started with like making these parody songs, and with all these games and lores, I kind of felt like I could like intertwine and kind of like I could write and produce when it comes to that, and it's been really fun for me. It's I found my grounding. I feel like I've been like interested in doing this again because at time it just felt like a chore, but right now it actually feels like I'm having a good time, and just listening to like the final product is oh my god. And also currently I'm enrolled in a coding boot camp because I also want to learn more computer programming along the way, kind of like C sharp, Python, and just like get into that because that's what I was like learning in college. But the thing is, it was like so condensed, so crunch time. It's crazy, but now I could do it at my pace. So yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Other than that, plans that I have for the future and currently, I want to be able to diverse like my platforms. Like I was trying to stream, but the connection, especially if you're in a rural area, is not really your friend. So I might have to hold that on the side until I could get like until I could upgrade, my whole setup. Music, I want to focus on music. That's what I've been doing right now. Songwriting, I always want to kind of polish it, have like these embellishments, kind of make it interesting. Like even if it's not like lyrically dense, I just want to make it replayable if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm on that. Oh yeah, and just keep on producing, making beats. I actually have like a DJ setup now, and I've had so much fun just like using like virtual DJ. It's like really such a intuitive software if you were to ask me. And just have gigs if I get the chance. In the area I live is more of I guess you could say elderly population, so I might have to do some crate digging in the 60s and 50s. Just something that could be like a good side hustle. I want to get back vlogging, and just like this podcast, I want to get more guests, colleagues and friends in mind, just talk about more discussion. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm gonna end this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe. I'm gonna try to get this on many platforms as possible, and we'll just see where it goes.
You just listen to the Fusion verse, where everything just happened, better or worse. Don't lose compassion, we're right on track. You'll always be welcomed back.